Yo, what's good, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, music production, and music business. We're back for another episode of the Music Is My Business podcast live Q&A. Super excited to be back for another one. Shout out to my guy, Hella Tracks. I appreciate all of the knowledge you provide to the community. Much appreciated, man. Glad I can share the information and help as many people as possible. So yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the stream. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do, and let me know what questions you guys have so that I can help you get unstuck if you are stuck. David Love Jr. is in the building. What's good, bro? It's been a minute. Hope all is well. We was talking about you in the last live music review. So hope all is well, man. Dope music as always. Dariano, what's good, man? Good to see you back in the stream. How y'all feeling, man? I'm feeling pretty good. Just got back. Me and the fam. We went up to Chattanooga for a little bit to go to their aquarium because we heard like super dope things about the aquarium there. And you know, we've been to the one here in Atlanta, super dope aquarium, but man, Chattanooga and the Tennessee aquarium is kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie, like that joint was low-key lit. So the kid had a great time, we had a good time, and then we didn't even plan this other place. We came across this other place that was nearby. It was like this, I don't know, it was like this huge kid playhouse / jungle gym thing. It was crazy, but it was mad dope. Like that joint was fire. I think it was called like Creative Discovery Museum or something crazy. But we did that too, like super last minute, and that joint was dope. So yeah, just got back from that. Shout out to Gladys Brown in the building. Good to see you. I was just rewatching How to Structure Instrumentals and got the notification you were live. Super dope. I'm all over the place. So that's dope. Appreciate you stopping the instrumental course and coming through the live where you can get questions answered. So if you got any questions about the course, this is the place to ask them. David says, I saw a video. Hey, I was streaming. Oh, no doubt. Definitely understand. Always tell people to check you out on my Twitch. Much appreciated. All right. Den Harrio Wilson with the first question of the broadcast. How to maximize sync licensing as R&B soul producer. So really it's man, just putting yourself in position for those R&B soul opportunities, and they're definitely out there. If you're doing a lot of slow stuff, it may be a little more challenging just because slow, like R&B soul slow stuff doesn't get used a lot, but your mid-tempo, up-tempo R&B stuff definitely gets used. I would link up with libraries that specialize in in R&B soul music, or that at least represents R&B soul music, and gets it in the hands of the people who need it. So to maximize it is just finding those music libraries, those sync licensing companies that want R&B soul music, and you can go to a lot of their websites and just go through their catalog, and they'll let you know, or like they list, like you can just go and listen to the music that's on there, and if you hear R&B soul music, then it's a bet. Go ahead, reach out to them, see if they're accepting new submissions, and then kind of go from there. But you can, on the flip side, like if you're producing R&B soul artists and you have access to songwriters and artists and things like that, you can also pitch the full songs, and then your artists, once you get those relationships with the libraries built, you can sit down and cook up with these artists, and it's a win-win, because if a song gets placed, the artist is getting that exposure. You're giving the artist the opportunity to get their music in TV and film, which gives you more leverage and helps you stand out as a producer, because I mean, what artist wouldn't say yes to working with a producer who could possibly get their music placed in TV and film? So it's a win-win for everybody, man. Artist gets more exposure from a placement, you get a placement, you get credibility as a producer, which could bring in more artists to work with. So definitely can't go wrong that way. Gladys Brown, you mentioned the Fox Sports placement you had. How can we check it out? Fox Sports, that was the first placement. I probably got it on my computer, man. Y'all want to hear it? Let me see if I can find that joint. David Love Jr., how do you find a library or company to start sending music to? Simple Google search, man. Music libraries, music licensing companies, hip hop production music library, R&B production music library. You know, put genres in there, keywords. You can put cities. You know, production music libraries in LA, which is a big city with a bunch of libraries. New York, different. You know, there's different companies all over the place. But that's usually how you search. Or sometimes you can look at credits and TV shows and find music supervisors who may work for a library or a music supervision company. Excuse me. So yeah, that's definitely a way to search those companies. So yeah, maybe like near the end of the show, Gladys, remind me. I'll be on here for like an hour, but remind me, and then I'll pull up that first placement so you guys can hear it. I wonder if it's still on. I think it's still on streaming services. It's called "I'm Taking Over" by Anthony Clint Jr. So if y'all want to look it up and check it out, that was the very first sync placement. It hit Fox Sports first, and then it ended up on, or did it hit NFL Network first? It was one of those. It was like it happened around the same time. So it was like NFL Network / Fox Sports. It played on both around the same time. So yeah, I'm Taking Over, Anthony Clint Jr. I'm sure it's online somewhere. YouTube for sure. Zay Wilson, what's good? Saw November James had a song in the movie. That's so dope. Yeah, I think he was like scoring, like doing a bunch of stuff in the movie on the film. So yeah, dope. She found it. All right. Dariano had a question. Is it a good idea to exclusively sign 100% of your publishing in perpetuity to a music library? It's really up to you. I've done in perpetuity deals, 100% publishing. I keep 100% writer share. They keep 100% publishing. Some deals may look a little bit different. So it may be, they may keep 100% publisher share of royalties, like performance royalties, but then the upfront sync fee maybe we'll split 50-50 in perpetuity. And then I've seen it where, you know, it was a buyout. So then I don't participate in any sync fees up front, and then they have the publishing share of royalties 100% in perpetuity. So I've done both. You know, as long as it's not for your entire catalog. Like if it's for, you know, I mean, the publisher's going to get the royalty share 100% most cases all the time. You get 100% of the writer share in royalties. Whether or not you participate in the upfront sync fees is going to depend on the deal. But you know, I can make another song, I can make another track. As long as I'm free to make more music and do other deals with that music, then I'm good with it. Especially if it's a library or a publisher that has a track record of getting some decent placements. So yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, don't do anything that you don't necessarily feel comfortable with, but you'll definitely see those. And then you got to think about it, like in perpetuity, like they're not gonna sign something that they don't think they can use. So you're still gonna get royalties like forever, as long as they're licensing that song, it's forever. Versus holding on to it and, you know, having 100% of something that's not generating money. That doesn't make sense either. So that's how I look at it. Gladys Brown says, do you have a course or any tips on creating tracks for sports ad campaigns? I don't. My structure is still going to be the same, unless, you know, for ads, things kind of move a little bit faster. So if you're looking at like a 30-60 second ad, I'm going to do what I'm doing in the how to structure instrumentals for TV course, but I'm just going to do it faster. So I may cut down each section in half to get to 30 or 60 seconds. And it's just going to move a lot faster pretty much. Or it may not have a second verse or a second hook. It may just be super quick intro, which could be just a drum roll, super quick verse, the main idea, the hook, and then boom, sting ending. So it's everything just kind of sped up, but it's still developing. It's just happening a lot faster. Arco S, what's good? Indeed. All right, let's see. LW done found the link for I'm Taking Over. There y'all go. Y'all got it. Appreciate you, LW. You see, we got David Love back in the building. LW. David came from his disappearing act. He's back in the flesh. I had or virtually rather, since we're streaming. I had a placement with Twitch Music, and I'm guessing it just hasn't taken off. But how long does it typically take to get paid? Man, I didn't even know you can get a placement on Twitch. Like, I know they have like services where you can use music specifically for streaming on stuff like Twitch, but I don't know, man. That's new territory for me. I don't know how that setup works specifically. Oh, I thought my son changed my chair settings. My arms was kind of weird. No doubt, man. Glad I can help. For ads, you still do a sting. Absolutely do a sting ending for ads. Hello everyone. First time joining live Q&A. What's up, Matt Risco? Excited to have you, bro. Does it harm a producer sync opportunities if ones use a royalty-free vocal sample with the YouTube content ID? Confusing. If one uses a royal, yeah, it could mess up some opportunities. A royalty-free vocal sample with the YouTube. Wait. So if you used a vocal sample, it was royalty-free in a track, and then you registered that track for YouTube content ID, it depends, I guess, on how popular that vocal sample is, where you're getting it from. Because I've used vocal samples before for library music, but it was like I chopped them up. It wasn't just, some of them I chopped up, and then some of them was just as is, but it was music over it. Like, they weren't just by themselves. So as long as it's an original work and you have original music underneath those vocal samples, YouTube content ID may not, it may not cause any issues. As far as sync, again, it depends on how popular that stuff is, how many producers are using it, how they're using it. It may not. It just depends. That's why, but that's the reason why we just don't use a lot of them. We try and stay away from them at all. Let me see what's good. Michael Connor Music back in the building. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Twitch Music, y'all, I'm gonna have to check that out. Y'all check out Twitch Music. I'm curious to see what that setup is like. What's good, Creative? Good to see you, bro. Also, sorry I've been so AFK. Been working on music and I started streaming, but I'm definitely gonna tune back in more. I miss these lives. Indeed, man, we miss you over there. We're like, yo, where's David? He submitted a track and just never showed up. He's just like, I'll just grace y'all with my music, but I won't be here. It's all good, man. We get it. C Keys in the building. So Clint, I've recently noticed that more movie supervisors and sync licensing companies are requesting more complete music with vocals and lyrics and less instrumentals. What's your take? I agree with you. I've been seeing a lot more requests for full songs. So if you can create full songs, or even if you don't, like, learn how to, because the requests for those have definitely, I feel like, gone up. Even from, man, for every library like that I work with, it's been vocal music. I just finished up an album that it was vocals. Honestly, the last few projects I worked on with BMG production music has been vocal tracks. So yeah, definitely an increase in vocal, but it's not to say that there isn't a need for instrumental as well. There's still plenty of, I'm working on a project right now. It's instrumental. Just finished up a project the end of 2021. It was instrumental. Did like 7 tracks for that album. So it's opportunities for both. But if you can create full songs, go like create the full songs. You know what I mean? Because you got the full song and you got the instrumental from that full production if you can. So doesn't hurt. But if you don't, you know, if you're not there, you're not working with vocalists and things like that, or you feel like, you know, you want to practice more if you're a writer, of recording and mixing and all of that stuff, you know, don't be intimidated or don't not submit because you only have instrumentals. Like there's opportunities for instrumentals as well. So yeah, a good observation. Larry Fisher in the building. What is a producer agreement and who provides it, rapper or producer? So I'll talk about, I guess, the indie side and the major side of things, because I have experience in both. So a producer agreement on the indie side, when I'm working, this is how I do business, right? So if I'm working with an indie artist, we sit down, we have a conversation, we talk business before we create anything. I don't care what anybody else says. Like, we got to talk about business first. Let's see what's going on. What's the budget? What's the goal? This is how I work. These are my terms. You know, I work if you want, once you're ready for me to start, 50% deposit. And then I start and I create. The other half is done. When the joint is done, I'm gonna give you 2 free revisions. After that, I'm charging you a fee per revision, because I've had people who literally unlimited ideas. Like you send them a new mix, boom, I got a new idea. Nah, we stopping that. So you get the 2 free revisions, right? So we sit down, we talk business. I talk about, you know, the things that I include. And then if they're cool, they're like, dope, all right, I'll type up an agreement, I'll email it to you, or if we're on the spot, print it out. But usually I just email it. It's just easier to electronically sign stuff. We talk about the fee, what the fee is going to be, you know, number of tracks, or if it's just a single, whatever. We hash all of that out when we talk, when we have a discussion on whether it's on the phone, Zoom, in person, whatever. Once both parties agree, I put it into an agreement, and then I send it to the artist to sign. We both sign it. We both get signed copies. That's how I do it. Now on an indie level, so on and all it is it's just saying I'm going to produce so-called number of masters for you for this fee by this time or whatever, in this state, and you know, 50% is due up front, 50% due once it's complete, blah blah blah. And then on a major level, working with major artists, it's kind of weird, man, because the business happens a lot of times after the creation of the record, sometimes after it's released, man. So what that could look like is you sit in the studio, you create a song. I recommend if you're in a session with writers, and you know, once that song is done, I recommend at least getting splits hashed out before everybody leaves the studio after that song is done, because people get amnesia, man. If you can do that, then do that then. And then, you know, working with like major labels and publishers and things like that, you have to have a lawyer involved so that they can send you your what's called a producer declaration or whatever, and then that kind of outlines, you know, how many masters you created, the fee that the advance that they're going to give you for that, you know, your or producer fee or whatever, and then the lawyers are going back and forth, the label's lawyers and your lawyers going back and forth with the terms and stuff, and you know, just kind of making changes here and there, and then once they finally agree to a contract that has the terms that everybody's comfortable with, then you finally sign off on it, and then they finally, cut you your check. That process is quite annoying and can be a while. And sometimes, a lot of times, album's already out before you even get a check for that. So that's what it could look like on the major side. And usually, the labels are the ones kind of providing those documents, and then the attorneys are going back and forth. You can't even move forward like with the process unless you got your attorney involved. At least that's what my experience has been. So yeah, that's usually how it works from my experience. I don't know, somebody else may have a different experience, but that's what it looks like. But you should definitely do it no matter what. Absolutely have an agreement in place, and it's there to protect both parties. And it just keeps the business clean. No one can get amnesia. If you do, it's on this paper and you sign this joint, so it's there, it's in writing. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So yeah. Mr. Remix, looks like you had fun in Chattanooga. Absolutely, man. We had a great time. It was dope. Chattanooga was kind of nice. I'm not mad. Not mad. I've been there before, but not to, like, it was like downtown Chattanooga. But it was pretty cool, man. It's a nice vibe. Benefits of relationships with music libraries versus music supervisors. It depends on the music supervisor, but some music supervisors will allow you to keep, all of your publishing, like 100% publisher share in royalties, 100% publisher share or writer share in royalties. So you keep those both halves of the pie. I don't know if they take fees or anything. There's so many different people do different things, but yeah, you're able to just keep everything. You know what I mean? You keep more money in your pocket if you do that, if you go that route, or you kind of have flexibility to kind of do some different deals if you're working directly with a music supervisor. So that's the benefit. The benefit of music libraries is that you don't have to worry about building relationships with music supervisors. You can focus on making the music. You don't have to worry about the admin side of things, and it's so much that can go into it, and you can just focus on creating the music and let the libraries do all of that stuff. It just makes it a lot easier for you as a creative. Do a 50-50 deal, and then let the libraries handle the publishing and the relationship management, and you just sit back, create, submit the music, keep it moving. So those are major benefits of each. Gladys Brown says, do you solely submit tracks to music libraries, or have you reached out directly to music supervisors or marketing agencies that work on brand projects that need music as well? That's a great question, Gladys. I've done a combination of both. I've gotten placements through supervisors and libraries. The majority of them has been libraries. That's where I put a majority of my energy when I first got started in sync, was reaching out to music libraries. So naturally, most of my placements came from that. But occasionally, there'll be a situation directly with the supervisor, and it works out. So a combination of both. I've tried reaching out to marketing agencies, didn't cover like a lot of ground that way. Like there was one where they were responsive, but just I don't know, just didn't have a need for what I had at the moment. So I haven't had any luck with going directly with an ad agency yet, or marketing agency. So good question. Bezaleel, what's good? I would like to send you tracks to critique that I have selected for the sync licensing course I purchased. This is something you do. It is. Go to clintproductions.com/consulting and you can book a critique. And that critique is via email. So pretty much once you book a slot, I'll email you my critique by the time that you book, and then it'll be like a video critique. I'll hop on. It'll be a pre-recorded video, so I'll listen to your music and then I'll critique it and send you my feedback via a video link through email. Or if you book a one-on-one consultation, those are hour sessions. I can critique up to 3 songs live on a Zoom call with you, if you want to do that as well. So yes, those are options I do have. Does it hinder releasing beat tapes that you're submitting to sync libraries? It depends on which libraries you're working with. I would say wait until and I mean, I guess it can go either way, because some libraries will release on DSPs as well, so that they can collect, because they become the publisher essentially, once you sign those tracks over to them. And then some of them release on DSPs, collect that for you, and then pay it out. Some of them, not all of them. So, you know, there could be a situation where they may ask you to take those down so that they could collect them, or do, I don't know if they can do some type of letter of direction or something like that. But yeah, I would just ask like each library, yo, is it cool if I release these as instrumental albums or whatever? See what they say. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue, but if you can, definitely do it. You know, why not? No doubt, man. I'm glad I can help. When you purchase all your ISRC codes for all of your music, where are all the places you can attach those codes as far as streaming goes? I'm not sure, so I don't really deal with those with sync a lot. There was like one time I think I needed that, and that's when I was working directly with the Music Suit. And then even then it was kind of like an optional thing, like they weren't tripping about it. But there's, what is it, the ISRC and then the IS something RW or something like that. One of those CSAC like kind of automatically provided. So it wasn't something I had to worry about. But that I'm not too sure. I don't have a direct answer, because I don't deal a lot with those codes, because I'm not really dealing with that part of it. But if anybody else knows, feel free to chime in the chat and help Knowledge First out. I'm starting your course today. My wife Zamira bought it for me as a gift. Super dope. Shout out to Zamira purchasing the Road to 10 placement. Shout out to all the Road to 10 placement students out there. Super exciting stuff, man. I just seen a post from someone who took the course. I think they signed up like the beginning of this year. It was like in January. They got their first placement. What was it, on HBO Max or something last week, or was it last week? Week before last? Last week. I think it was last week. Then I just seen another post, and they just got their second placement just came in like on some other show or movie or something like that. So those joints are adding up quick. So shout out to Andy, man, killing it out here, and all the other students taking the course and taking action. Indeed. Are there instrumental tracks on Tune Find? You know what? I don't think I've looked up instrumental tracks on Tune Find. It was always, it seems like it's always full songs. That's a good question. I don't think so. Road to 10 placements. Do it. Indeed, man. Road to 10 placements. For those who don't know, and for the new people in the stream, welcome to the stream. So this is the Music is My Business podcast, and I stream live and I do live Q&A for the podcast. So then people who go back and listen to the podcast, they get helped by the questions that you all answer. So thank you that you all ask. So thank you for asking such dope questions, because y'all helping a lot of people out there, man. What was I about to say though? I completely forgot what I was about to say. Oh, the story behind the Road to 10 placements. Because people ask me like, why 10? Like, why do you call it the Road to 10 placements? This is why I call it the Road to 10 placements. So earlier, Gladys mentioned my first placement. I'm taking over, which got placed on Fox Sports and the NFL Network. That was my very first TV placement, like around what was it, like 2013 or something like that. After that, and after I finished up a publishing deal that I was in, I was just like, I really want to focus on TV and film music. So this year, I think I started it in 2015. I was like, this year I want to try and land 10 TV placements in a year. And then while I'm trying to do this, I was just like, I'm gonna post about it on Instagram and just share Instagram and YouTube, mostly on Instagram though. And I was just using the hashtag, and I was like, I'm gonna just share my journey. I'm gonna just show people what I'm doing every step of the way, reaching out to libraries, making music, submitting music, you know, all the way up until I started getting placements. And if you go on Instagram, you search the hashtag road to 10 placements. Like if you scroll, I don't know how long it'll be, but if you scroll all the way to like the beginning of that hashtag, you'll see like the little trailer video about it, and then you'll see the progress all the way up to until you start seeing placements. And then other producers hopped on. There was some producers they hopped on the road to 10 placements joint and like started getting placements before I was getting placements. And it was just, you know, it was just something I was just like, let me see if I can do it, and I'll just share my process while I'm doing it. And yeah, and then I started getting placements, and then other producers started getting placements, and then people start asking me, well, how do you get TV placements? What did you do? How did you do it? So I literally took everything I documented over that time and just turned it into a course, because like my mouth was getting dry answering the same question over and over and over and over again. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put it all in one place. I'm gonna give you the play so you can run it too, and that's what the road to 10 placements is. So it turned into a course. Like that was not my intention at all. It just happened, man, and it's been helping a lot of producers out there. So that's where the road to 10 placements name came from. It was just a random goal, not really random, but it was a goal that I had, and wanted to see if I can hit 10 TV placements in a year, and then I ended up doing it. So yeah, what's up, Mar Smooth? Goatee or Gotti rock solid. What's good? I produce for major artists and I'm registered with ASCAP for publishing. If I do sync under a different production name, do I need a separate registration with ASCAP? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm registered with ASCAP for publishing. Do I need? I don't. If you're. So you produce for major artists, but do you have a major publishing deal? That would be the first question I would ask. If you don't have if you're not tied to like a major publishing deal that's like, you know, current and active, then you should be able to use, you know, the name that you already have registered with ASCAP as a writer. Or are you registered with ASCAP as a publisher? Because that's two different things as well. You would have to make sure you're registered with ASCAP as a writer, because if you're reaching out to libraries and things like that, they're going to want your writer's ASCAP IPI/CAE number, and then they're going to register tracks that you sign with them on your behalf. They'll be listed as the publisher, you'll be listed as the writer. So it should just be, usually it's just your government name if you're registered as a writer. If you're registered as a publisher, then you probably wouldn't even use that anyway if you're signing with a music library, because they're the publisher. So it depends on how you have all that set up. G McCrae, my guy, the 80s master is what I like to call G McCrae. Looking forward to it. So tonight, if you guys didn't know, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing live music reviews. And pretty much I'm going to be critiquing music. Matter of fact, somebody asked about a critique. You can get a free critique tonight if you tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. Doing live music reviews, going in order of submission, seeing if music is ready for TV and film. I'm going to give you feedback. We're going to have a good time. We're going to crack jokes and whatnot. So it's going to be dope. So make sure you come through. We're going to be back on this joint tonight at 9 p.m. Michael Connor says, get my 5 tracks together and get ready to pitch. Clint Jr. has put together a great course. Highly recommended. I appreciate that, Michael. Much love. Would you recommend creating 2 versions of instrumentals, one format for TV and film and one in standard artist format? You know, this is a good question. If you're creating the art, so if you're in a situation and you're creating for the artist first, the artist came to you and was like, yo, I want to do an album and this is what I want this to sound like and be, then your job as a producer is to create and bring that artist's vision to life, right? As a producer. So that's going to be first and foremost. And if they're not thinking about TV and film, then, you know, that's when you can step in and be like, hey, look, you know, I create for TV and film as well. This is something I could possibly pitch. In order for that to be successful, you know, there are some things that, you know, we want to consider in the production of this so that it fits for TV and film as well, such as, you know, maybe having a sting ending or something like that. If they don't want to do that, or they don't like the way it sounds, which is understandable for an artist album or something like that, then yeah, create a couple different versions. Create one if they want it to, sometimes you'll have like the end of the track kind of segue into the next track, or some type of, something dramatic, or a long intro interlude. And you know how these artists, you artists get creative out here. When we tap into the creative side of things, and we want to create long elaborate intros and interludes and preludes and postludes and all of that, intros and outros. So, if they want to do all that stuff, let them do it. But then, just have the stuff that you'll submit to TV and film and make those necessary edits. If it's a song, it has profanity, create a clean version. Do it all while you have the sessions and stuff open, because it will just make it easier instead of going back. But if you are like me, I haven't been doing a lot of like artist projects that's just specifically for the artist. It's just been, like I'm working on TV and film projects, and then I'll pull in some artists to do that, or I'll pull in some writers to work on that specifically. So everything I've been creating has been, formatted for TV and film, because that's what we're just focused on right now. Not necessarily creating, just to be, an artist, I guess, or create an artist project. So hopefully that makes sense. How do you stay consistent with your beat production? Staying consistent. It's really no secret. It's no special thing to it. You have to just stay consistent. Like, and that may look different for everybody. Like, consistent for someone may be knocking out one beat a week. It may be one beat a day. It may be one beat every other day. Whatever you can do and stay committed to, then do that. So me, it's just like, if I don't show up and I don't create product, then you don't work, you don't eat. So you just have to show up every day, and create something, and just kind of set a schedule for yourself, set a time. If you're working another job during the day, then when you come home, grab you some food, grab your nap, whatever you got to do, boom, lock in for 2-3 hours, however much time you have, and make sure you do something for yourself, to build your production business, to build yourself, to build your catalog, whatever it is. Make sure you carve that time out to do it. And it's it's a non-negotiable. You got to make it happen. So that's how I do it, man. It just make sure I got it set in my schedule to do it, and then just sit down and do it. Drunk is Mike. So I just started the course. Appreciate the gems. Quick question: the track has been the track has to be mastered before submitting, and if so, can I send it through Lander or something similar? Yeah, absolutely. I would highly recommend making sure everything is mixed and mastered. You want to give yourself the best chance possible, because you're competing with everybody, with people who are sending in mix and master stuff. I'm sending in mix and master stuff, so Absolutely. And yeah, you can use Lander or like an online service to master it and things like that. So yeah, absolutely. Or, you know, use a mastering plugin. Like there's plugins now where it's just a single plugin, throw it on your master track, and then let it do its thing. If you can mix decently, you know, throw a mastering plugin on that joint and keep it moving. Lamar Webster, what's up, bro? I submitted a hot track for tonight. Indeed, looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. I got some shirts I'm sending your way, Clint. Just DM your info. Super dope. I appreciate that, man. Will do. Have you ever worked with Epidemic Sound? No, they won't let me. I'm registered with a pro. So they say if you're registered with a pro, like ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, then you can't work with them because it, you know, doesn't fit the business model. And that just, you know, obviously it doesn't work for me because I got to be registered with the pro. I got to collect those royalties. So does the 1 minute or 2 minute mark rule of thumb still apply for composing TV? If you're making instrumental tracks for TV, even full songs, like I used a minute and a half, 2 minutes. If you're composing music, like, are you talking about to picture, like composing music to picture? If that's the case, not necessarily, because composing that can be different, you know. I have a little bit experience, excuse me, composing a picture, and that was really, they were just like, they gave me timestamps, and they was just like, we want music here, 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 and here. But it wasn't like, here's a whole scene, put music like all the way through. It was like, no, it's like spots here, spots there. This is the vibe we want here. This is the vibe we want here. And it sometimes it was 15 seconds, 30 seconds. You know, sometimes it was longer. It just depends. Yeah, just depends. The intros, great insight, Clint. This helps a ton of music arranger like myself to make perfect sense. Okay, dope. I'm glad it helped. If I purchased your guide last year, is it still good for this year? Deshaun, man, listen, you got the outdated information, man. No, listen. So for those who don't know, the Road to 10 Placements has been updated since last year, like totally refreshed. It was like a PDF and then maybe like a couple videos in the old course. February 22nd of this year, of 2022, I revamped the whole thing. It's a 100% video course. I dig a little bit deeper into some of the topics because, you know, over the years, like I'm actively working in this. So like over the years, there's things I go back through the course and I'm like, yo, like, I think I can expound on this better to help more, right? So I went in and kind of revised some things, some sections, added some things, added some strategies, and just really, I want to make sure, like, literally you have everything you need to get it to go from 0 placements to TV placements. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure you had everything that I could possibly think of. Not only that, but make sure you have the right mindset going into it. So I threw that in the beginning of it because that's what really sets everything up, sets your expectations, so that, you know, you can be successful, and also like give you ways to like figure out what's going on when you're hearing no. So yeah, man, it's different. I highly recommend you upgrade to the new one, because there's definitely some new nuggets in there that I feel like can definitely aid in your process of getting placements. Also, the music licensing directory has been updated. So if you got the one from last year, I updated that as well. So that one has like over 100 and something licensing companies that you can start researching and looking up, seeing if they fit for the kind of music you do. Threw a couple trailer houses in there as well. So literally, man, I wanted to give you guys everything you could possibly need to help you get to your first TV placement, or help you get to more TV placements, even if you already got one, without having any connections, without having any experience, all of that stuff. So I want to make sure you guys have everything. So if you want to enroll in the new one, Just go to rollto10placements.com. That's where you can sign up, enroll in the new joint. There's a discount code in the description of this video that'll give you a discount as well. So use that. That's for everybody that's in the stream live. You guys get that special discount code today. So yeah, I would definitely get that new joint. And if you got, some people hit me up, they had the old joint and they didn't take action, and they waited like over a year and then tried to go back and like download it, and it didn't work because we revamped everything. So if you didn't take advantage of it a year ago when you purchased it, then unfortunately you gotta upgrade to access the information. So make sure you get it. When you do enroll, don't let it sit. When you are inspired and when you're moved to do something, take action immediately. Otherwise, if you wait, that adrenaline, that excitement is going to dwindle down slowly to the point to where you end up not taking action, and then you just collected another course that you didn't do anything with. This course is made for action takers, for you to go through it and then just start applying immediately, each step, so that you can see the success that you want to see. So yeah, let's see how to send a track for tonight. The instructions will be in the description of the stream video tonight. So when you guys come in, just check out that description. Actually, you can probably go, if you go to the video on my YouTube channel, go to the scheduled live stream video and look at the description, and the instructions will be there. It's gonna be dope. Lamar Webster, are you hip to the MXL 770 condenser mic? I have an AKG P120, but it's in stores in Cali. I am not. I'm not. I haven't used the MXL mic. I've used, what have I used? What was the mic for this one? AKG AT4040. I have that one. And then this Shure SM7B. Yeah, pretty much the only two mics I take that back. Before I had the AT4040, I had some cheap Behringer mic off. I think I got the joint off eBay. Yeah, that joint was, yeah, it got the job done, I guess. For consistency, think about your why. It's a great driver as your motivation. Schedule some time aside and make it productive. Templates in your DAW will help your workflow. I love this. That's a fact, man. The why. Why are you doing it? I find that people who are looking for, a quick royalty check, and that's their why. I just want to hurry up and I just want to get the royalty check. Those are I get it. We all want to get paid for our work, and you will, but you have to be patient first. Licensing is not a thing that will pay you super duper quick all the time. There are situations where you could get paid, relatively quick. You could get paid an upfront fee to do something, but most cases, there's a lot of work that's required up front before you see anything. And the people who just want to get that quick money usually end up falling off because of the work that has to be done first. Before you see anything, before you know anything is working, that's the most challenging part about sync licensing and TV placements and production music and things like that, because up front you're producing music. You're reaching out to libraries, you're creating these albums for them, you're signing music to libraries. Then you have to give the libraries time to ingest your catalog, to do all the admin that has to be done. It's a lot of it, making sure things are registered in the right places, then sending it, pitching it to, their clients and things like that. It's a whole process, man, and it can take a while for that to happen. But when it does happen, I'm telling you, man, as long as you don't stop, especially once you get into some libraries and you're at the point to where you're submitting, if you don't stop creating and submitting, eventually it's going to pop, and then you'll see that first placement, and then it may be a little while, then you see that second one. Or it may be like my guy Andy. It was like a week apart, his first and his second placement. He just got another placement. It may happen quicker, but eventually it starts to snowball, and then you'll get that first royalty check. Joint's gonna be a solid 76 cents, and you're gonna be geeked though. You're gonna be excited because you just made 76 cents, like off of work that you did a long time ago. But then that 76 cents grows into, $11 and then $100, and then you may see an exponential spike, and then you hit, 500-600. Then you start hitting a couple thousand, you know what I mean, every quarter. So it can grow, and it could be super dope. But if you go into it and learn how to enjoy the process, learn how to enjoy looking up companies, reaching out to companies, learn how to enjoy structuring out the music and being creative with, keeping your tracks interesting and things like that. Enjoy the process, man. And if you can learn how to enjoy the process of sync, the process of creating music for TV and film, the process of just the whole process, is going to make making money in sync a lot easier. So that would be my advice, man. But yeah, I love what Michael said, man. And your why, if your why is, I want to do something that's rewarding, something that's going to last for a long time, something that's going to pay me for a long time over time, something that, I can pass on to the next generation. Royalties can go on like forever past the lifetime of the original creator. And it's dope. Your music is an asset, and it can make you money for years and years to come. So yeah, definitely keep your why in mind. Stay consistent with the schedule, and templates are the cheat code. Let me tell you. Just heard about iSpot for TV ad references. Are you hip to that? That sounds familiar. I think I might have checked it out once before. I have heard of that. As a matter of fact, it was I think I was in a a Clubhouse room a while back, and somebody mentioned that. So yeah, check that out, and you can see what's working for ads. David Elliott, what's up? All is well. Thanks for the education and inspiration. Looking to get your course and want to inquire more about personal mentoring. Indeed. So I do mentor producers specifically on getting fast tracking, in fact, their process to getting their first music licensing deal. I only work with a very, very small handful every 3 months, usually around 5. So if you want to apply for that, it is invite only. You have to apply to see if you are a good fit, and then if you are, we'll schedule a call. But to apply, just go to producermentorship.com and apply for that. And it's a 3-month program. We're working together one-on-one for 3 months through video calls. I'm giving you my 90-day music licensing plan, or 60-day music licensing plan, and the goal by the end of the 90 days, even though it's a 60-day licensing plan, you still have that 30 days of just pitching and coaching and things like that. But the goal by the end of the 90 days of that mentorship is to have you locked in with at least your first licensing deal with the music library, so you can have some place to pitch your music, submit it, and get the ball rolling. And that includes critiques. I'm letting you know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and gonna increase your chances of getting into some libraries, getting into some deals. So yeah, Freeman Vibe. I'm an independent rapper, producer, and doing mix and sound engineer and cover art maker, but in my country rap, because especially for us that telling truth rap is a crime and we can't have any income. I'm for 9 years in this way, and my income was a beat selling. My laptop's broken, and for a new one I should work for one before I with dollars, but okay, I'm lost now. I'm trying to read. Give me one inspiration and tell me why I shouldn't give up. I forget playing guitar and drum machine too, but haven't interested you. Tell me why I shouldn't give up. Only you can determine why you shouldn't give up. You know what I mean? I can't tell you why you shouldn't give up. Because if you want to give up and you don't want to do this and you don't want to get through the rough and the tough and gritty part of becoming successful at whatever you want to do, if you don't want to go through that, then you should give up. I'm not going to tell you like don't give up just because it sounds nice, just because, oh, like don't give up, like you should never give up. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have it in your heart to keep pushing through, like no matter what, then you should give up because it's not for you. But if you are the type of person where, you know, my guy Neo, he says all the time, like it has to work or it has to work. Like there is no other option. Like for me, I wake up every day. There is no other option. There is no like, don't do music, don't help people, don't give value, don't, don't whatever, don't take care of my family. Like there is no other way. There is no option. There is no giving up. It's okay. If it gets hard, if it gets rough, well, we just about to go through this rough phase, but everything I feel like happens in season, so it can't stay bad. Like every negative has a positive. There's two sides to a coin. Like, have you ever seen a coin that only had one side? Never. You know what I mean? So there's always another side to a situation. So use whatever you're going through right now to build your character, to build your endurance, and come out on the other side, because you'll be stronger. You'll be more wise. You'll know what moves not to make. You'll learn from whatever the situation is. And then you keep pushing. The only difference between me and somebody else who doesn't have TV placements, or somebody else who doesn't have artist placements or whatever, the only difference is I just never gave up. Like I wasn't always a dope producer. I wasn't always great at mixing and mastering and writing and pitching and talking on camera. Like that was trash. If you go to like the beginning of my YouTube journey, those videos were trash. You know what I mean? But the only difference is I didn't stop. I kept putting out trash videos. I kept putting out poor lighting and poor audio. You know what I mean? I kept putting out horribly structured tracks and submitting them and getting rejected. I didn't stop. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you not to give up, because I don't know. I don't know. But only you can. If you don't want to give up, don't give up. Period. If you feel like quitting, then that's on you. I know me. I make music, not excuses. That's it. So man, hopefully that helps you and points you in the right direction. And I hope you don't give up. I don't like to see people give up on their dreams. If this is what you want to do, find a way to make it happen. Like Neo says, it has to work or it has to work. If we got the course before February of year, how do I get the newer version? Road to 10placements.com. That's where you can get the newer one. Now that's not to say the old version won't get you results. Like there's people still getting results. You can absolutely still get TV placements with the older version. But if you want that updated joint, absolutely go to road10placements.com and enroll today. Are the previous purchases of the Road to 10 Placements able to access if you purchase it 30 days prior to the update? No. We sent out an email a while back, pretty much giving everyone a certain time to access those older files. And then if they didn't by that time, all those links are now gone. So you can't access the old stuff. If you didn't download it and save it and back it up before that date, then it's gone forever. So hopefully you downloaded it and backed it up and had some backups. And do that with everything, man. Back up everything that's important, especially information, because I back up information. Like I take that more serious than sound packs, drum kits. Like I take my information and I treat that like, yo, I can't lose this. Like this is going to be on 10 hard drives, 10 flash drives, a cloud storage. I take the information serious, and this is why. A drum pack, loop pack, whatever. I can find another drum kit. It's going to change anyway 6 months from now. It's going to be a different vibe. I'm not worried about that. But information, I can take, especially information that's going to teach me how to make money, how to monetize my music. I can take that and flip that. So if I go all the way back to zero from scratch and I lost everything, I can take that information that I backed up and turn it into something and build everything again from scratch. That's why information is so important. That's why information can change your situation. And that's why I invest in it on a regular basis, because once you have it, nobody can take that away. You know what I'm saying? Once you learn a skill, once you learn how to get your music placed in TV and film, you've learned how to generate royalty, passive income with your music for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So it's extremely valuable, way more valuable than a drum kit, a loop pack, an Omnisphere 2, like any of that. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys take it, back it up. Now it's on, you just log in. So save your login information. Make sure you can access it. Once you enroll in the course, you have access forever, as long as the course is up. If I add any new videos to the course, you're going to have access to that for free. So you don't have to worry about it. So make sure you save your login and stuff. And make sure you have access to that, because yeah, information is super crucial. Oh shoot, it's time to go. All right, let me see. I'm gonna take one more. Shout out to LW dropping the submission info. Appreciate that, LW. Let me see. I'm gonna answer one more question. This was great, man. Y'all super dope. Phase P, appreciate the super chat. How should loops be used with sync beats, and what types are safe? I'm gonna give you the very, very simple answer. Don't. Just stay away from them. Don't use samples for sync music. It'll just make everybody's life easy. Thank you, Dariano, for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. So that's it, man. This was dope, man. This was a dope conversation. I appreciate you guys asking these questions and just bringing up these topics, man. Super dope. Another dope podcast, man. So again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you enroll. road10placements.com is the website. Use the discount code that's in the description for those on the live stream right now. You'll get a special discount. And that's it, man. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing live music reviews, seeing if your music is ready for TV and film. So make sure you come back. It's going to be dope, man. I've been seeing the submissions come through. It's going to go crazy. So come back tonight, and I'll catch you guys when we go live tonight. So I'm out. Be easy. And remember, you make music, not excuses. Peace.